The Golden Bird by the Brothers Grimm.
Once upon a time, a king had a beautiful garden. In it grew a tree that bore golden apples. The apples were always counted, yet each night one disappeared. The king grew angry and ordered his gardener to keep watch under the tree. The gardener's eldest son was sent to watch, but at midnight he fell asleep. In the morning, another golden apple was gone. The second son watched the next night, and he too slept through the theft. At last, the youngest son begged for a chance. His father feared harm might come to him, but he agreed. When midnight came, the boy heard a soft rustle and saw a bird of pure gold pluck an apple from the tree. He leapt up and shot an arrow, but it merely brushed the bird. A single golden feather drifted down before it vanished into the dark sky. In the morning, the boy brought the feather to the king. The king's council agreed the feather was worth more than all the treasures of the kingdom. But the king said, "One feather is of no use to me. I must have the whole bird." The eldest son set out to find it. On his way, he met a fox sitting by the path. The fox said, "Do not shoot me. I will give you good advice. When you reach the village, you'll see 2 inns, one grand, one shabby. Stay in the shabby one." The eldest son laughed. "What can a fox know of such things?" he said, and shot at it, but missed. He reached the village, saw one bright inn full of music, and another poor and quiet. He entered the fine one and forgot the golden bird. Time passed, and when the eldest son did not return, the second son set out. He met the same fox, who gave the same warning. But when he reached the 2 inns, he saw his brother at the window of the fine one, calling him in. He could not resist. He joined his brother in feasting and forgot the bird and their home. At last, the youngest son too wished to go. The gardener refused, afraid to lose his last child, but the boy insisted. When he came to the wood, the fox appeared again. "Do not fear," said the fox kindly. "Sit upon my tail and you will travel faster." The boy sat down, and they sped over hill and stone until their hair whistled in the wind. At evening, they reached the village. The young man followed the fox's advice and stayed in the shabby inn. He rested quietly while laughter and music echoed from across the street. In the morning, the fox came again. "Go straight to the castle," said he. "Before it lies a troop of soldiers, all asleep. Go past them into the castle, where the golden bird sits in a wooden cage. Do not place it into the golden cage beside it." The boy entered the castle as the fox said. There sat the golden bird, gleaming in a wooden cage beside the golden one. It would be a shame to bring such a fine bird home in this rough cage, he thought, and moved it. At once the bird screamed so loudly that all the guards awoke. The boy was seized and brought before the king. The king said, "You shall die unless you bring me the golden horse that runs swifter than the wind." The boy left in despair. Soon the fox appeared again. "You see what happens when you do not listen," he said. "Still, I will help you. Go to the stable where the horse stands. Do not put the golden saddle on it, only the old leather one." The boy did as told, until he saw how fine the golden saddle looked. "It suits the horse better," he thought, and switched it. The horse neighed so loudly that the guards awoke and captured him once again. He was judged, and his sentence was death, unless he brought the king a beautiful princess. He left sorrowfully, and once more the fox appeared. "Why did you not listen?" sighed the fox. "Still, I will give you counsel again." "Go to the castle," said the fox. "At midnight the princess goes to the bath. Kiss her and she will follow you, but let her not go to say farewell to her parents." The fox stretched out his tail, and off they went swift as wind. At midnight the boy kissed the princess. She agreed to flee, but wept and begged to take leave of her parents. At last he yielded. As soon as she entered the palace, the guards awoke and seized him again. The king said, "You shall never have my daughter unless in 8 days you dig away the hill that blocks my view." The young man labored for 7 days, but the hill scarcely changed. Then the fox came and said, "Lie down and rest. I will work for you." The next morning, the hill was gone. The king, astonished, was forced to keep his word. The young man took the princess, and the fox said, "Now we shall win all 3. The princess, the horse, and the bird." "How?" asked the youth. "When you come to the first king," said the fox. "Mount the horse, take the princess by the hand, and when he rejoices, lift her onto the horse behind you and ride away swiftly." They did so and escaped. Then the fox said, "When you reach the second castle, I'll stay outside with the princess. You must go in to see the golden bird. When the king shows it to you, ask to hold it, then ride away with it." Everything happened as planned. The young man seized the bird, galloped away, and soon had all 3: the bird, the horse, and the princess. Then the fox said, "Now, please kill me, cut off my head and feet." The youth refused. "I cannot harm my friend." The fox sighed. "Then be aware of 2 things. Never sit beside a river, and ransom no one from the gallows." Then he vanished into the trees. The young man rode on with the princess until he came to a village. There, 2 men were about to be hanged. When he came closer, he saw that they were his brothers. He pitied them and gave all his gold to free them. The 3 traveled together. As they passed a quiet river, the brothers said, "Let us rest and eat here." The young man forgot the fox's warning and sat down. Suddenly, the brothers pushed him into the river, took the horse, bird, and princess, and returned home. They told the king that they had won all by their labor, but the horse would not eat, the bird would not sing, and the princess wept bitterly. Meanwhile, the youngest son lay in the shallow riverbed, nearly dead. The fox appeared once more, scolding him. "Had you listened, none of this would have happened. Yet, I will not abandon you." He pulled the young man out and warned, "Your brothers will kill you if they see you." Disguised as a poor man, the youth came to the king's court. At once the horse neighed, the bird sang, and the princess stopped weeping. The truth was revealed. His wicked brothers were punished, and he married the princess. After the old king's death, the young man became king. One day, while walking in the forest, he met the fox again. "Now," said the fox softly, "kill me and cut off my head and feet." With tears, the king obeyed, and in that instant, the fox turned into a man, the princess's long-lost brother. Then joy and peace filled the kingdom, and they all lived happily ever after. The end. You have listened to the story of the Golden Bird by the Brother Grimm.
If you want more stories like this, like, leave a follow or subscribe.